Hi everyone, Grant K here for the Flame Premium Learning channel. In the previous video, we learned how to swap timeline effects between sequences in Flame Premium and Smoke Advanced. This is very useful for versioning effects as you work through the timeline. One other aspect we need to look at is the player modes and settings. Even if you're a long-time Flame Premium or Smoke Advanced artist, all the settings are different with the integration of Reactor 2.0 in the timeline. So let's run through some of the player options and see how they can enhance your interactivity in the timeline. Firstly, all the player options are located to the right inside the Options pull-down menu. The default setting of the player is set to real-time. This basically means that if you have a sequence that contains any unrendered effects, Flame Premium and Smoke Advanced will attempt to play it back at the clip's frame rate. For example, if I play this sequence containing unrendered timeline effects, the playback mode will drop frames in order to sustain its frame rate and keep up with any audio. This should still allow you to get a pace and feel for the edit during playback. The second mode in the Options pull-down menu is Play All Frames. So this time, when I play the sequence, the software will show every frame even if it disrupts real-time playback. This is a very good way to validate every frame if you're looking for something specific. However, if you wish to bypass all the effects temporarily so that you can concentrate on just the editorial, choose Hide Effects. It doesn't matter if you use Play All Frames or Play Real Time, all the effects in the sequence will be muted and you can see all the source media in the segments. I'll just disable this option and we can see the effects again. The last option we will look at is caching in the sequence. In the previous versions of Flame Premium and Smoke Advanced, you could place the positioner over an unrendered effect and the frame under the positioner would render to disk. This would create a partially rendered segment in the sequence. Currently, this is not on by default. If you want to use this functionality, turn on Cache on Playback. The segment changes color as before and it is partially rendered to disk. However, the improvement is that you can actually cache on playback and scrubbing as opposed to only scrubbing in previous versions of the software. There is also a difference depending whether you use Play Real Time or Play All Frames. Using the default Play Real Time setting, when you play a sequence, the behavior is to play the sequence back at its intended frame rate and drop frames if needed over the effects. So with the cache options enabled, you will see that it caches frames but skips a few during real-time playback. You could play this back a few times and eventually all the frames will be cached. Alternatively, you could switch to Play All Frames and play the sequence. As each frame is displayed, it is rendered and cached. Remember that you can still render clips by pressing Render. Just a quick note that the render options have changed in the current release, and this will be covered in an upcoming video. In our next video, we look at the new contextual view when working with timeline effects. Comments, feedback, and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Flame Premium Learning channel for future videos.